Donald Trump's excuse that he can't release his tax returns because he's under audit is absolute nonsense. A whole number of lawyers have said this, former IRS commissioners have said this, and I've said it. But let's take him at his word. You can't release your tax returns when you're under audit. What about his tax returns from 1978, the first year he paid zero income taxes, through 2008, when by his own account, the audits are closed? There's absolutely no reason not to release those returns. Now, we know as a matter of fact from other various government reports that I have dug out that Trump paid no income taxes in 1978 and 1979. He didn't pay income taxes in 92 and 94. And I, earlier this year, revealed that he did not pay income taxes in 1984, which was a huge year for him. That was the year that he opened up Trump Tower and sold apartments and space and rented units. And it was the year his first casino opened in Atlantic City ahead of the summer gambling season. In that year, his New York State return and his New York City tax return showed a consulting business with zero income and over $600,000 of expenses. While the state and city auditors separately said, please justify these deductions. He couldn't do it, but he still ordered his longtime tax guy, a lawyer and accountant named Jack Mitnick, to appeal. During the trial over his city tax returns, Mitnick, under oath, was shown the only tax return the government had. Apparently the one filed was a photocopy. And Mitnick looked at this document and he said, well, that's my signature on the tax return, but I didn't prepare that tax return. That's about as good evidence as you're ever going to get of tax fraud. That is a badge of tax fraud. So I think there's very good reason to believe he's been engaged in tax fraud. In addition, there is currently going on a New York State private attorney general action in which a $250 million tax fraud is alleged. Now, Trump is only a material witness in that case. So there's abundant evidence here of big problems. Now, an obvious question people may ask themselves is, well, why hasn't he been prosecuted? We don't prosecute hardly anybody in this country for tax fraud. If we had Donald Trump's tax returns, I think we would find that he's probably paid penalties in the past, and that the government, as it often does, when faced with threats of extended litigation over tax matters and refusal to produce documents, has settled with him for a discount. This is a really aggressive taxpayer strategy that's used a lot, so that people get away with paying less than they owe. And if we had his tax returns and audit notices, we would know the truth of that. But I can guarantee you one thing, we are never going to see Donald Trump's tax returns, even if he's elected president of the United States.